yeah, it's better this way. I can do whatever I like and without anyone questioning why is this happening.
Oppu of Octoploid, thank you so much. Another year, another Amorphis member has a new project. It's always busy times. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. There's great weather in Helsinki. It seems like summer has stuck here for good. I don't know.
Wonderful.
Sometimes it's like backlashing. It's starting to snow all of a sudden. But
yeah.
I don't know, but it feels good, and no problem.
Yeah. Awesome. Now, I mean, there's lots to unpack. Let's dive straight in. Octoploid, this album that's coming out, it's getting obviously a lot of attention. There's always attention when members of really established bands have other bands, other projects, or in some cases solo projects. I was making a joke earlier, like we've seen a few solo projects come out of Amorphis members in recent times. Yours might be different, because I know that you're going to get a lot of the attention with this release, you personally, for obvious reasons. But should we look at Octoploid as a true band, or is this Oppu's solo project in disguise?
Well, it is my solo project or my solo band. It was meant to be my solo band, and it was like formed based on the songs I wrote, and in future as well, I will write all the material for it, and I also keep myself a veto of whatever is going on in the band.
Yeah.
Whether what's going to happen, will we tour or not or whatever, and when it comes to material as well, I'll be the head honcho when it comes to production. But so I am open to listen to whatever people has to say, and probably on the next album we will arrange the songs more as a band.
Okay.
Even through this time, it was the solos were. I mean, the songs were entirely ready and arranged with all the instruments and vocals as well. But let's see how it goes. I will. I do want to keep all the wires on my hands.
Yeah.
But still, it's good to have some effort from the other members as well. Since I might be wrong as well at the times.
I remember from the last time that I spoke to you with the last Amorphis release, you told me that you don't feel too much pressure going into, writing and recording all the work for Amorphis releases. You feel that the band can stay away from expectations and pressures pretty well at this point in the career. Obviously, everybody's so experienced. But is this very different? I mean, at the end of the day, you can, with respect, disappear in the collective that is Amorphis. But now you're very much front and center. Sure, it doesn't have your name on the album necessarily. There's a band name, but this is your solo project. You're keeping all the strings close to you. Does that then also come with a little bit more pressure for you, given that this is truly your baby?
Well, probably not musical-wise.
Okay.
I think within the few past months, I've gained even more confidence when it comes to that, because the response have been pretty good for and still I got this. After all, I got that a deal with the major metal label on my own, so I feel pretty good about it. But still, naturally, when it comes to technical issues like doing videos and album covers or whatever, that's an area where I've felt a little bit lonely at times. naturally, I've hired this guy only to play, and therefore they don't need to. They don't have any responsibility to take part of these shitty jobs, which has like the management of the band and so forth. So and now I'm doing the interviews all alone. Of course, I want to do it, but it still comes with lots of responsibility. And if something goes wrong in those areas, I, like myself, I am 100% responsible of that. So therefore, I don't have any problems musical-wise because I'm working all the time with music and creating music all the time. Like there's always something boiling and bending, and I'm pretty selective when it comes to music, therefore I'm not afraid as long as I like the music, the songs. I'm happy with it, and I don't pay too much attention like what could be the demands from the label or from the audience. So therefore it's all right when it comes to music, but still there's lots of responsibilities.
Yeah. Exactly. Now, you mentioned a couple of things I just want to pick at real quick before we go into the music and all the kinds of the stuff that really matters at the end of the day. But you also mentioned like one of the pressures on you was, getting the right cover art and all that stuff around it. And we just have to pause here for a second because, well, boy, did that work out quite well. This album comes with, not just on the front cover, but like this album comes with one of the most works of art that we've seen on albums in recent times. Orion Landau did a fantastic job, and he did a lot of great stuff. But I feel like in the last few years he didn't feel as active anymore. And all of a sudden, you've got this ridiculously beautiful artwork, and for the singles as well. Like that. When that came together, you must feel pretty good about that.
Yes, I feel like really fortunate about it because I have a friend in Relapse Records, and I knew that Orion is working for Relapse as a graphic designer, and I just asked him, Pete from Relapse, that what do you think? Could he come up with the album cover art for me? Because I liked his works. I've been like following him in Instagram for like a few years already, and really dig what he's done for example IOB band and whatever else, and that was he was like on the top of my list when it came for cover artists. I had a list in my like a cloud drive of the artists, and fortunately he was the first one who I ever contacted, so that turned out pretty good. And I was really lucky about it because the people actually told me that Orion is not doing cover art anymore. I don't know why, but because when I contacted him, he was up to it immediately. So probably he will be just only selective when it comes to the album cover arts. I don't know. You have to ask him, but still, when I got the first sketch for the cover, and I think that's the final cover art actually.
Yeah.
Immediately like stoked about it, like this is going to be really great, and even like he was ready to do the layout as well. So that was really easy process for me, and I didn't need to correct him at any point at all. He just did his works, and it turned out brilliant. So exactly. And also his art has been used on like lyric videos and videos, so it made the whole process really easy for me when it comes to like graphic wise. And
Now, the artwork won't only look beautiful on a vinyl record, but also as a label of your own beer. I know Amorphis had its own beer. Should we keep our fingers crossed to see the Octoploid IPA or lager or something like that with some of that beautiful artwork as a label?
Well, we do have a couple beers already under our belts, but still, I think it was Volnor who did the last album cover. He did the layout for the latest Amorphis beer. But since Orion is having brewery as well, and he's doing like etiquettes for his own beers, so that could be quite natural to come
Exactly.
up with your label as well.
Awesome. All right, now let's go into the music because there's a lot going on there as well. This is a very diverse sound that you have. I don't want to say diverse album, but diverse sound, because when you say a diverse album, that could mean that there's 10 very different songs, and you have like a poppy song, a folk song, a metal song, but your songs all have those diverse elements within the songs, and there's a lot of take us on a journey every song, if you will. And you mentioned, I've seen a lot of positive reactions to some of the music that's out there, and that's true. And a lot of those reactions will say like, that reminds me a little bit of the very old days of Amorphis as well. Is there like how far back do some of these songs date? Like, is there a bit of a hint in this album if Oppu would have never left Amorphis for all that time, that we would have seen this music maybe come out sooner? Or am I just projecting here?
Well, of course, I would have like really brought to present these songs for Amorphis back in the days. Maybe nowadays they are a little bit too much. They have some different nuances when it comes to modern Amorphis sound, so I'm not sure if they would have fitted the band nowadays. But still, I could see this easily as a continuation to, for example, Elegy album, because there are like several influences within the songs, as you said, and that was the whole point from the starters. I thought like, okay, now I have enough material for my own album, and I actually thought that, okay, what kind of album should this be? Should I do a progressive rock album or stoner rock album or a death metal album? But then I thought like, okay, probably I'd just be as natural as I could and just mix every element in one album. So well, it's probably less risky as well, if you compare it to say, for example, prog rock album. I couldn't probably even get this album signed to any label. Probably easier to go like that with the debut album. I'm not sure what's going to happen with Octoploid in the future, but I'm sure that I will start keep experiencing and experimenting with music more boldly.
Mm-hmm.
I think now I have courage to do it even more. So because I'm not actually even listening to metal music nowadays that much,
right.
but still it's a genre that I enjoy playing the most. So, and it's also like I think metal fans and the metal communities, they are like most open-minded people in musical world in general, because there are so many different kind of influences and different kind of metal bands in the scene. And usually it's metal listeners who are ready to listen different kind of music as well. Mm-hmm. But it's like, for example, hipsters are not into grindcore, if you know what I mean. So therefore, it's I'm fortunate to be a part of the scene and being able to play whatever music I want to, and how should I put it? It's more easy than to just put up like 5 different bands and or just to play one sort of genre.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's better this way. I can do whatever I like, and without anyone questioning why is this happening.
I mean, obviously, like, there's no denying it. You know, Amorphis, what doesn't happen with a lot of bands of that length, is more popular today than ever. It's a machine. It's not going to stop, which will make it difficult for you to schedule around that. We all understand that and know that. But if I'm just speaking for myself, I really hope that we get to see a continuation, but also a live continuation. There are songs like on the album Shattered Wings, The Hallowed Flame. For me, those are, I think, my two favorite songs on the album. And I want to see these songs live. So can I keep my fingers crossed, or is Octoploid deemed or doomed to be a studio project?
Well, who knows? It depends on many things, of course, because naturally Amorphis is quite a busy band. We are touring all the time, and we are going into the studio later this year, and we'll stay there for 3 months. So that will keep my hands tied for a while, and we've been mapping for some dates for doing live shows, but it's not easy, of course. Seems like I have a show like in every requested date, so that's gonna be hard. But since after the new album, Amorphis album, is released, I mean recorded, there's gonna be few months, almost 1 year of a leisure time for me, which means I need to figure out something to do, and hopefully it's possible to come up with few shows or even tour. And I can reveal that we already tried the songs to make live arrangements
Right.
in the rehearsing place, and they sound really good. Different, of course, but it was really good. We didn't have two guitars, for example. We only had like Hammond organ and guitar, bass, and drums. So it was totally different kind of ball game comparing to Amorphis, for example. And we didn't have any clicks or whatever. It was totally organic. So I was really happy that it ended up sounding that good. So there is like lots of potential in Octoploid to play live, but let's see. I hope so as well. So keeping my fingers crossed as well.
Oppu, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. This is a really exciting and unique release, and for people that just love beautiful cover art, can even just blindly buy the record for that as well and frame it because it turned out so nicely. I'll keep my fingers crossed that in your downtime after recording the new Amorphis album, you find the people around you that can go on tour with you before the Amorphis machine breaks loose again. Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it, and I wish you the best with this release.
Thank you very much, Jasper, and see you in Toronto.
Absolutely. You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.